Almost 15 years after the classic gangster drama The Sopranos ended, the creator of the show, David Chase, teamed up with one of the show's directors, Alan Taylor, to give us a movie of the show, a prequel, The Many Saints of Newark, showing the rise of Tony Soprano from a child to a young adult, and exploring the relationship between him and his mentor, Dickie Moltisanti, a character we've previously never seen and who was sparingly mentioned on the show. Now obviously, there was a lot of hype around the film. The idea of seeing the rise of Tony, the enigmatic Dickie, all of that, but also to see younger versions of our favourite characters, Paulie, Silvio and whatnot. James Gandolfini's own son Michael would portray the character which made his father a household name. It was our first foray into official Sopranos film or television outside of the show's original run, and the man who created the show was at the helm. The only problem, of course, was that it was crap. Tony was a side character. Many of the classic characters were portrayed as caricatures from an SNL sketch, Silvio's age, whatever happened there, and too much focus on a completely new character, Harold, who we didn't care much about, were just some of the problems. Even on a basic level, the movie lacked a flow and cohesiveness to it. Many scenes felt random, and ultimately the film feels pointless. As mentioned in my review, I was never as emotional at the quality of the film as many Sopranos fans, simply because I never had high hopes for it to begin with. It was always going to be an add-on to the series that was already perfect, and it would never have added anything to it. And it seems plans for a sequel movie or TV series follow-up are off the cards, so the movie just sits as some awkward thing that fans would rather forget exists. Well, allow me to compound your misery. Because not only are we talking about the film today, but we're discussing a particularly revolting and quite frankly alarming subplot that was cut from the movie. Maybe it's common knowledge, I don't know. It recently came to my attention. Let me know in the comment section below if you already knew about this, and while you're there, subscribe to the channel. So one thing about Many Saints that I thought was actually pretty good was the portrayal of Uncle Junior. The actor did a good job, and unlike most of the movie, here it did actually add something to the show. The whole thing about Junior falling and becoming impotent. It highlights why he is so insecure about the rumours he goes down on women, and why he sanctions a hit on Tony over the Bushman of the Calamari jokes. And it might explain why he didn't take the plunge with Fran, and why he didn't settle down with a woman. The fact he kills Dickie for laughing might come off as petty, but that was Junior all over. Petty, insecure and jealous. It was very consistent with the Junior we saw in season 1 and 2. The Junior who tried to kill Tony over a joke. The Junior who was on trial for his life, but he was more concerned with how the cartoonist was drawing him. The Junior we didn't see, though, was the one who was a pedo who touched up children. Because believe it or not, that's what the Many Saints revealed. That Junior used to touch kids, including his niece Janice. A bit like fans blocked out the movie from memory, Janice blocked out her memories of Junior touching her until she takes drugs one night and it comes back to her. Dickie gets it out of her and he then confronts Junior about it, who admits it, saying he's done it to others and he is scared of intercourse and he carries this burden. And then Junior goes to a priest, but after having a dream about Dickie, he thinks Dickie will tell his brother Johnny Boy, so gets Jilly Ruffalo and the cop to kill Dickie, confirming that the cop did indeed kill Chrissy's father. And this is the original reason why Junior kills Dickie in the script. And this occurs towards the end of the film, the revelation and Dickie's death. So it's not a small subplot, but a bizarre tonal change that pretty much acts as the film's climax. I'm sorry, but what the heck is this shite? Where on earth did they get this from, and what were they thinking? I was never emotionally invested in the film as some, but learning about this genuinely made me repulsed. Frankly, I'm depressed and ashamed, and I want to know whose idea was this, whether it was Taylor's or Chase or whoever, and their justification for it. It's just, how much more betrayal can I take? It's simply terrible and disgusting. There is nothing in the show to suggest Junior molested Janice. Nothing in the way she acts towards him. In fact, she seemed to have an affinity for him, to be at ease with him. And when it comes to Junior's attitude to Janice, it always seemed he had her number, and he was sharp enough to see the game she played. By adding that he in fact touched her years ago, it just goes all wrong and makes the dynamic between the two bizarre. It's a complete demolition of Junior's character, and it would have sickened the audience. How would we be able to take seriously the pathos and gravitas of later Junior scenes, like his last with Tony? It's a lazy attempt to shock the audience with something scandalous about Junior, but it had no basis in anything we've seen before throughout the entire series. It would have poisoned some of the more poignant moments of the series, as mentioned, especially his last with Tony. I feel like I've been stabbed in the heart. Junior was always some goofy, insecure comic relief who gets a storyline that descends into a tragic decline. Meanwhile, he fancied women. Angie Dickinson, the chick he had in season 1, the undercover Fed, Fran, but he never took a wife. Maybe he was too old by that point, who knows? He's a deeply insecure man with moments of wisdom, and ultimately is one of the most cherished characters of the show. Where in all of that do you get pedo? There's a man's reputation at stake here, a complete contradiction of 6 seasons of character building, and it really feels like just something there to piss fans off. I'm not saying there isn't a basis for telling a story like this. When it comes to molestation, it often is family members, it often is hushed up, as in the script where Livia slaps Janice when she tells her and Livia says you imagined it. But it feels completely unearned. I'm trying to connect it in my mind. Okay, Janice leaving home early, her poppers and weird shacks with Richie and Ralph could imply trauma at a young age, but it still doesn't work. It would surely have come up somewhere, maybe in Janice's final scene with the Junior. It's simply a retcon. There was a disturbing moment in the recent HBO documentary on David Chase where he suggested his mother may have been molested by his grandfather, and perhaps this was his way of inserting this into the Sopranos universe, given a lot is borrowed from his life. But yeah, it just doesn't work, and it would have made me really angry seeing that in the film. Coupled with the whole thing about Dickie banging his stepmother, his father saying to him he allows him to jerk off to her picture, and other stuff, the movie just has a really icky, perverted feel about it. If you want to know how it plays out in the script, check it out here. Dickie comes across Janice crying after a party. "Uncle Dickie," she says. She steps out of the shadows barefoot without a winter coat, shivering. Makeup runs down her face. "Janice, what the hell are you doing?" Dickie says. "Where's your boots in weather like this?" "I need to talk to Aunt Jo, but she's not here." Dickie takes off his coat, drapes it around Janice. "She took the baby to her sister's. Come on, get in the house and dry off." He opens the door and Janice shivers her way in. "I'll drive you home." "Shit, no, I can't go home. I was at a party. I dropped acid." "What acid? LSD? When's she gonna be home?" "I have no idea. Later. You want some coffee or something?" Janice begins to weep. "Let me get you one of Joanne's robes." "No, don't leave me." "Let me go make you some coffee." Janice sobs. "Do you have any cocoa?" And then we cut to the two sitting with their drinks. And Janice says, "For a while, I was having a really groovy time. The party was at my cousin Dominic's house. Dominic had this huge glowing head, kind of like a halo." Dickie says, "Yeah, well..." Janice says, "But then I saw Santa Claus and it kind of turned grey and I started to see other things." "See things? What are you talking about?" "It started with Santa." "Janice, you're losing me." "Memories from when I was little. Uncle Junior used to play Santa." "Those are some good times we had, huh? You kids thought he was the real thing." Janice sobs. "Janice, what is it?" "I can't tell you. I need to talk to Aunt Jo. She's a woman." "Why don't you tell your mother?" "I told her once when I was little, but she smacked me across the face, told me I was imagining things." "Okay, that was then. Did somebody do something bad to you tonight?" She nods. "One of those punks at the party?" "No, a long time ago." "Who, Janice? What?" "The tree of life is a burdensome thing for those who live a lie." "What the fuck was that?" "Moby Grape," says Janice. He suddenly grabs her wrist and twists it. "That's it. If somebody did something bad to you, you gotta tell me. I need to know who it was and what they did." "I can't. If my father found out..." He pinches her mouth between his thumbs and fingers. "Uncle Junior!" "Don't fuck around, Janice." "He said he'd kill me, slice my throat if I ever told anyone." Dickie takes a moment to process this. "Junior, he touched you." She nods again. "Where?" "You know." "No, I don't know." "Please, Uncle Dick, don't tell me that. It happened." Dickie falls silent. Then he rushes over to Junior's house and upon arriving slaps a cup out of Junior's hand. "The fuck?" says Junior. What did you do to Janice? Janice? Who, my niece Janice? Yeah, your niece Janice. Did you finger fuck her? Get the fuck out of my house. What are you, drunk, you prick? Crash! Dickie punches him in the face so hard Junior hurtles back against the hutch. Dishes flying everywhere. Junior's glasses have fallen off. Dickie steps on them, crushing them. He kicks Junior. You fucking scumbag, your brother's child. Dickie takes out his gun, puts it to Junior's head. That Janice, that kid's no good. The only chance to survive this is to tell me the truth, Junior. She's got a screw loose, comes from the mother. Alright, let's go see the father. Dickie grabs Junior by the collar, starts to drag him across the floor. Junior scrabbles and claws the rug. I don't know what you're talking about. You're gonna rile him up about something over nothing. You call having sex with an 8-year-old nothing? I never had sex with her. Dickie slaps him. What did you do to her? Nothing. All I did was touch her, just a little. Dickie hits him on the side of the head with the gun. You're an animal. Junior starts crying, begging. I never hurt Janice, Dickie. I've been to priests about it. I never hurt any of them. Them? It wasn't just Johnny's kid? You can't understand. This has been my burden all my life. Kill me, Dickie. Go ahead. You'd be doing me a favor. I went to the priests. They told me to stop. All I wanted to do was stop. Are you people crazy? I don't know you, Junior. You're not the Junior I knew. Junior's crying. My sex life is all fucked up, Dick. Please don't tell anybody. I don't like intercourse. It scares me since I was a little boy. You're sick. In my late 20s, I found a priest, Father Di Flippio. He helped me. I would kiss his feet. I stopped putting my hands on little girls since then. I should tell Johnny, but I do that, Johnny's life's over. I don't want to be the one to break his heart. I know, Dickie, I know. I'm sorry. It falls silent except for Junior's crying. Here's what's going to happen, Junior. I'm going to keep watch on you. I even see you glance at a kid. I'll tell Johnny. He'll kill me. Yeah, he will. And you're going to go back to the priest. He died. That's why I never got married, Dickie. What if I had a daughter? And straight after this, we get a scene following Junior. The heart of the black neighborhood. Junior parks and walks up to a large stone building, Our Lady Queen of the Angels Church. He has a hat pulled low over his eyes. Junior enters. We get a montage of Junior waiting in line at a confessional. Over half an hour, 3 or 4 people go into the booth. Junior grows angsty, checking his watch. He's about to leave when the confessional door opens. He turns, and in the confessional booth, Junior kneels nervously. Awaiting his confession is Father Akulo, Nigerian. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. How long has it been since your last confession? Last Easter. But that's not true. I never go. You must tell me what wrong you've done. I had sex out of wedlock. A mortal sin. Right, but you can forgive me, right? If you are truly penitent. Fornication is lust, a sin of the flesh, which we share with the animals. I'm not an animal. Let me finish. Your sin is not as black as a spiritual sin, like not believing. Junior mulls it. Nobody ever told me that. A weight has been lifted. In addition to your penitence, you must make a promise to God you will not repeat this sin. I'll promise that to him. Pray your rosary 3 times a day for a week and read St. Paul's letter to the Corinthians. Consider that done. Junior gets up. Father Aluko senses something. My son, I know why white people come to this church. They think they can tell me things they cannot tell their parish priest, for fear it would get around their neighborhood. What are you holding back? Junior's smile fades. Tell me. She was my niece. How old was she? Tears filled Junior's eyes. 8. And there were others. Oh, my poor son. I know. Junior cries again. Later there's a scene where Junior lights a candle with a nun, and after this he goes back to the confessional booth. A line outside the confessional booth. Junior comes down the aisle, very agitated, cuts everyone off as a parishioner exits the booth. I'm sorry, this is really important. Junior enters. Father, is that you? How long has it been since your last confession? Just last week, I was here, with you. I've been hoping you'd remember what we talked over last time, Father, without me going over it. I do remember. Here's the thing, I did everything you told me, but last night I had this horrible dream. What was it? Look, Father, I did like you said. I prayed my rosary every day. I went by the home for orphans and donated a carload of children's shoes. Go on. And then we cut to Junior's dream. Empty. Just a shadowy figure cleaning the bar. Johnny is seated alone at a table, writing something on a pad with a pencil. Dickie enters. He whispers something in Johnny's ear. Then, on a subway, Junior waits for a train. Lights appear. A D train comes out of the tunnel, clattering towards the platform. Johnny appears out of nowhere, pushes Junior in front of the train. Junior hits the tracks. His legs are severed, and he is screaming. Back to the confessional booth. The train was a D train. You think that means anything? What do you hope to get by coming here, my son? Protection. You should go and tell the girl's father. Make a clean breast of it. Ah, sweet Jesus, he's my brother. All the more reason you should be able to talk to him. My brother will kill me. If your prayers are sincere, God will hear and will touch your brother's heart. You don't know him. I found out I'm not that good at praying, Father. That rosary, I can't concentrate. I will pray for you too, my son. Junior looks at him, now really filled with doubt. We get a scene later of Junior organizing the hit on Dickie and then Dickie being taken out. So it doesn't quite have the suspense that the final film has because you pretty much already know it's coming. It's just so off. I don't even really know where to begin. Even Junior saying, "That's why I never married." Why would a guy who's probably in his 30s by that point say that? It's just a really transparent way for the writers to say to us, the viewer, that's why Junior never married in the show. But in the show, he's in his 70s, not a relatively young man. He might as well have looked at the camera and said that. But that's the least of the movie's problems. After Giuseppina, Dickie's dad's twin in the prison, Harold, after all of that, maybe in the last, 1.5 hour, 1 hour, 45 minute mark, we're thrown a curveball that Uncle Junior touched kids. He kills Dickie, the end. Like, what the heck? Were they trying to piss off the fan base? What do you make of this? Let me know in the comment section below, and thanks for watching.